All right, guys, welcome back to another video on the super duper world of sports. And today we're going to be looking at the official week one power rankings for this upcoming. Actually, it's the first game is tomorrow, so first game of the 2022 to 2023 season. Let's look at how teams stack up in the power rankings here. So in last place, number 32, we have the Atlanta Falcons. I think that's pretty understandable. Marcus, Marcus Mariota, obviously not the best ideal starting quarterback. Uh, it's just not not a talented squad. Mostly not a talented squad. You have a couple, got a couple gifted young people like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, but the defense is atrocious. AJ Terrell is all right, but they've lost a lot of assets. We'll have to see how that works out. And at number 31, just above them is the Chicago Bears playing the San Francisco 49ers this week. Justin Fields hasn't really been set up to succeed in the way that we wanted him to be. He's also, and of course, because of that, he hasn't even been able to make progress at all. Projected to have one of the worst O lines in the league this season. Really, Darnell Mooney and David Montgomery are like the only bright spots on offense. Maybe Cole Kmet up and rising, but other than that, it's very grim for the Chicago Bears. Next up is the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 30 against the Washington Commanders here in week number 1. And I believe they could be a Cinderella story of this year. Uh, I mean, it's not going to be like they make the playoffs and beat everybody or something, but they do have quite a setup there. I mean, they got a lot of valuable, noteworthy free agent additions. Had a pretty good draft, in my opinion. Still have Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne is back from injury. Travis Etienne Jr. And with the duo of Etienne and Robinson now, along with the addition of Christian Kirk, yes, they did get rid of Laviska Shenault, but still, with their addition Foyesade Olokun on the defense, I expect them not be bad actually. Uh, New York Giants up next again. Like they're really, it's it's just always been trash a situation for them. I mean Saquon Barkley, this is his make it or break it year, if you will. If he gets injured and isn't able to perform at the high standards he was performing at in his rookie and sophomore years, then it's going to be tough to, you know, it's going to be tough to be able to trust these the Giants. So we're going to have to see Daniel Jones. You're going to have to see how Daniel Jones works out with the team. Brian Dabble should provide an upgrade in the coaching staff, though. Kadarius Toney, I'd like to see take a larger step in the offense, and defensively, I think it could be all right. I think so. They play the Tennessee Titans, of course, in Week 1, and the Houston Texans up next, playing the Indianapolis Colts, their division, kind of their division rival, in Week 1. And honestly, I think it's just still going to continue to be a Cooks led offense. Of course, Merton Cook's going to get absolutely fed. Davis Mills has no opposition, throwing only to him. He's said that multiple times, and we're not going to look at the defense. That's why I have them so low. Obviously, it's because it's the Houston Texans. It's just the Houston Texans. You can't put them above like what this 28. But I could see a little bit of an improvement after the some notable free agent additions and the draft. They got Damian Pierce at the running back position, which should be a pretty good improvement. And next we have the New York Jets, who are playing the Baltimore Ravens in Week 1. Now, and because Zach Wilson is injured, it affects the power rankings for Week 1 because Joe Flacco is probably going to start because Zach Wilson had the ACL scare, I'm pretty sure, in practice one day. So that's a little bit of a downgrade. Joe Flacco actually his comeback, uh, his revenge game against the Baltimore Ravens, and we'll have to see if the Jets' 11-year playoff drought will motivate them to finally succeed. They had a amazing draft, picked up C.J. Uzomah, Tyler Conklin, good tight end options. I see a pretty good improvement in their season. Next up is the Detroit Lions at 26, which is, in my opinion, fairly reasonable. Playing the Philadelphia Eagles this week. Of course, Malcolm Rodriguez, the sixth round pick, getting a lot of hype from Dan Campbell. He's really believing in him and his talent. And Dan Campbell's enthusiasm itself should be able to drive this team to success. DeAndre Swift, full, ready, fired up. TJ Hawkinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Jamison Williams even. He might be on the non-football injury list for a while, but that's all right. Once he comes back, it's going to be better. Jared Goff, of course, not as bad as everybody says he is. So it won't be as bad as previous seasons for them. Washington Commanders at 25, just a bad situation. They lost Brandon Scherf. They lost no, actually they acquired Andrew Norwell, but the loss of Brandon Scherf is quite detrimental because he's a prolific offensive lineman, and Carson Wentz. I don't see Carson Wentz making much of an impact in Washington at all. Of course, the receiving core is all right. Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin obviously certified WR1. Curtis Samuel, it's a little bit wishy-washy with him right now. Plagued by injuries these past few seasons, unfortunately, and we'll have to see how he bounces back from that. Jahan Dotson should help quite a bit, too. They still have Diami Brown. Logan Thomas could be all right. But the defense, very subpar. That's why I can't be convinced to put him above this at this point. The defense is not good enough. Next is the Carolina Panthers. Right? Yes. Carolina Panthers playing the Cleveland Browns this week. So straight out of the gate, revenge game for Baker Mayfield against the Browns. I think, just it's still somehow a quarterback competition there. I think, Baker Mayfield obviously is going to win. If Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, if he can stay healthy, then the Panthers would be top 15 easily. He's ridiculous when he's healthy. We've just been underrating him, putting him down a notch because of his injuries, and that's fair to some extent. But we shouldn't forget how unbelievably he played. He does still play when he's not injured. DJ Moore is there. Robbie Anderson is there. Even Terrace Marshall is there. You got Tommy Tremble, young little tight end prospect there. And it's all like a huge box balancing on one little wedge. Everything, the whole team balancing on Christian McCaffrey at this point. It's again make or break, just like Saquon Barkley coming back from the injuries, the inconsistency, and we'll have to see how that goes. Next up, Seattle Seahawks. It's justified why they're this low. I was struggling between whether to put them above or below Carolina. I just went with above because DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are better than DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson at this point in time. And their running back, Rashad Penny, definitely is worse than Christian McCaffrey, but Rashad Penny should get a pretty good workload this year, too. And because Geno Smith is not going to be able to, sling it deep every time to Metcalf or Lockett. Metcalf, both of them are like deep you know, deep ball receivers basically. Although Metcalf is a little bit obviously tougher, he can get the jump ball, and the defense isn't as bad as it could be. Oh, I forgot to mention Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker the third, the rookie running back, should actually be able to contribute to the backfield a little bit, and because of that, uh, we'll have to see if the Geno Smith experiment works out against Denver in Week 1. Cleveland Browns obviously against Carolina Panthers. It's not. Yeah, I mean, until Deshaun Watson is back, they're going to be around this range. As long as Jacoby Brissett is starting, no matter who they have on offense, Nick Chubb, awesome. Kareem Hunt, awesome. Amari Cooper, awesome. That's pretty much it, though. David Njoku is not bad. Uh, so I think until Watson is back, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, primarily Nick Chubb, is going to eat. Absolutely going to eat. So, and the defense, not too bad. Got a little bit of youngsters. Got a good bit of youngsters there. Will improve throughout the year, definitely. Next up is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, adding James Daniels to the offensive line should make it a little bit better. But obviously, David DeCastro is gone now. Alejandro Villanueva is also gone. I think they both retired. Well, at least Villanueva retired. Not sure about DeCastro, but he's not on the Steelers, so at least. Mitch Trubisky was named the starter just recently, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, which I agree with. He's got more experience. I think Kenny Pickett can learn a thing or two from him, even though Mitch Trubisky isn't the ideal mentor. And plus, Mitch Trubisky doesn't have 8-inch hands. And Mitch Trubisky doesn't have like 8 centimeter hands, and he can actually, he's actually pretty mobile. But 21 is pretty good because they're facing the Cincinnati Bengals, which we'll get to it later. Hint, hint, they're in the top 5. But yeah, I think the defense, no worries about the defense. Steelers' defense has always been good and will continue to be good for the coming few years. But it's just the offense that is a little iffy. Next up is the Patriots. New England Patriots at number 20. So I don't think, and they play the Miami Dolphins, as you can see. So a divisional rivalry matchup in Week 1. So I don't think the offense is really as bad as people are making it seem. Uh, you know, Mac Jones, he was the most prolific rookie quarterback last season. I don't see why that won't continue. He's got his safety valve in Jacoby Myers. Still got him. Although there, of course, there's a touchdown concern with him, but that's all right. I mean, as long as you can throw to him. Next, you have Kendrick Bourne, who can operate, middle of the field to long kind of a deep ball receiver. And you also have Hunter Henry, who is a pretty good tight end, reliable. Whenever receivers are struggling, just trust to Hunter Henry. Offensive line isn't too bad. Ted Karras left for the Bengals, obviously, and you had I think they still have David Andrews as a center, which is pretty ideal. Defense, after losing J.C. Jackson, count me out. Count me out of that. I mean, it's not too bad still, but it's not nearly as good as it once was just by losing one player. But it's J.C. Jackson, man. Losing J.C. Jackson is like he's the focal point of that defense. Next up is the Minnesota Vikings. I think the defense is a little bit of a concern here, especially here against the Green Bay Packers. They got Zadarius Smith, which I am all for. Danielle Hunter still there, leading the front, along with aforementioned Smith. Kirk Cousins always, puts up the same reliable numbers: 4,000 yards, like 30, maybe 35 touchdowns. Uh, and Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. I don't see many problems with the offense there, but the secondary is where it kind of gets a little bit on thin ice. Andrew Booth Jr. is a rookie. He's going to have to lead the secondary. Uh, Chandon Sullivan, I think he was a free agent acquisition. He's also going to be back there, trying to help out Andrew Booth. And I think there's one more guy, a Caleb Evans. Yeah, a Caleb Evans, also going to have to help out those two. And the week one matchup against Aaron Rodgers, two-time, back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be tough. We'll have to see how that is going to be handled. Next up, Dolphins, obviously against their division rival, the the Patriots. If Tua, it's all on Tua, man. They've got like 5 running backs now. It's fine with the running backs. I guess they can all split time. You got Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Savon Ahmed, Miles Gaskin still going. Teron Armstead, awesome pickup. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, not even arguably, they are the fastest wide receiver duo in the NFL. So that's going to be very, very tough. But you know what else is going to be tough? It's going to be tough for Tua to throw deep, throw deep enough for them to be able to connect, for him to be able to connect with Hill and Waddle. I think Teddy Bridgewater might be able to start in a couple games. Maybe more than a couple, actually several. Depends on how Tua's doing, of course. As I said, it's all relying on Tua right now. So if Tua Tagovailoa does well, then no reason to put in Teddy Bridgewater. If not, then vice versa. The defense, always, it's pretty good. Xavier Howard still there. Got the contract extension last season, and definitely not a bad unit. So they're kind of in the middle of the pack here, which is, I think, appropriate for them. Next up, Tennessee Titans versus the New York Giants. Of course, we gotta talk about it. The pretty devastating news for them out of training camp was that Harold Landry suffered a season-ending ACL tear. So he's gone for the whole season before it even started. One of, if not their best pass rusher. Honestly, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. He is an upcoming talent. It's gonna be very terrifying to see him coming off the edge in just a few days. A few years. I mean, you saw his 1.5 sacks in the divisional round against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. It's going to be tough. But that means Rashad Weaver is going to have to fill in for him on the defensive line there. The offense, losing A.J. Brown, big hit. But Robert Woods was acquired. Traylon Burks was acquired by the draft. Still got Derrick Henry. Coming back from an injury, I think he's going to be more motivated than ever. He's going to get a lot of the workload. I think he's going to eat. Austin Hooper, tight end acquisition from the Browns in free agency. And yeah, so I think it should be an easy win against the Giants in week 1. But again, middle of the pack here. Not really anything exceptional. Number 16, exact middle of the pack. We have Arizona Cardinals facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Tough matchup against Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City. But Kyler Murray should be able to find his way around. Still got James Conner, touchdown machine. If they continue to give him all the goal line work, then that should be even a good thing for fantasy too, if we're going there. Murray, obviously, he's gonna be happy, obviously, just like any other player that he got his contract extension. So you just gotta see how that works out. Marquise Brown, and AJ Green, Rondell Moore are gonna lead the wide receiver core because DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for 6 games. Tight end Zach Ertz, pretty good. Defense lost Chandler Jones. Uh, pretty pretty tough loss there actually. But Buda Baker's still there. Got a lot of stars. Uh, so I don't see too many big issues with this team. They got to stay afloat in the NFC West, so that's going to be a little bit tough for them. And the Eagles, the third NFC East team, right? Yeah, third NFC East team so far, versus the Detroit Lions in Week 1 at number 15. I think they have a serious chance to make the playoffs, dude. I mean, the offensive line is rock solid. AJ Brown, we were just talking about with the Titans, traded AJ Brown to the Eagles during the draft. Huge, talented target for Jalen Hurts. Him and Devontae Smith, as well as Dallas Goedert, Kenneth Gainwell, Miles Sanders, all the running backs. It's gonna be a feast for everybody. And of course, you got Jalen Hurts, who does obviously need to improve his throwing. We all know that, but his running it's unparalleled by it's unparalleled by many. Of course, some are better than him at running, being a quarterback. That is, you got your Lamar Jacksons, you got maybe your Kyler Murrays, you got those people, but it's looking really good, especially the offensive line. Defense is nothing noteworthy. It's and by the way, like Jordan Mailata, we have to talk about Jordan Mailata, their left tackle. I don't even know where he came from. Like he went to a school in Australia. He's Australian. Jordan Mailata went to a school. It says International Pathway Program in Australia, and he came to the U.S. and now dominating as an offensive tackle. I mean, great story. It's just a shocking story, honestly, and because it's awesome, man. I just like unrelated to power rankings though, but still, it's great to talk about this kind of stuff. It's heartwarming. So anyway, back to the power rankings. Indianapolis Colts at number 14, which I don't think is too bad. Uh, it all does depend on Shaquille Leonard. When does Shaquille Leonard return to the playing field? Uh, because I'm pretty sure he was on the pup list for a while, but they did take him off recently, so it was for back surgery. Matt Ryan, definitely an improvement at quarterback. Kwity Paye in his second year on defense should come back. Should be able to step it up a notch. Facing the Houston Texans should be an easy win as well, no matter the circumstances. And we have Cowboys at number 13 on Sunday Night Football, I believe, facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that is definitely a tough matchup. Definitely a tough matchup. I mean, the offense has to carry its weight. It's gonna have to do that throughout the season. Uh, I mean, we've all been accustomed to the high numbers put up by the Cowboys since what? Since Tony Romo, honestly. I mean, it's always been real high. It's always been the high-powered offense for the Dallas Cowboys. But now, with the loss of Amari Cooper, we're gonna have to see how CeeDee Lamb will definitely eat. Zeke and Pollard. Uh, Pollard will definitely get a increased workload in the offense. I don't think Zeke's is fully going to go away. Dalton Schultz is also going to get targeted very much. Trayvon Diggs on defense. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. So, and Like just ridiculous players, especially like Micah Parsons. He's freakish, out of this world talent. And Trayvon Diggs just a ball hawk. Balls just sticks to his hands when he picks it off. Uh, awesome player. So I think they'll put up a pretty valiant effort against the Bucks. I don't think they'll win though, unfortunately. And number 12, we actually have the Saints above the Cowboys. Only concern is the offense, man. Jameis Winston, uh, leading quarterback. Alvin Kamara will be fine, but I think his carries will actually start to go up instead of his receiving yards. Receiving yards going to go down, carries going to go up in the Jameis Winston led offense. No more Sean Payton, so that also makes a big impact. Week one should be an easy win though against the league worst, in my opinion, Atlanta Falcons. So the defense on never was a concern and still isn't. Even though they lost Teron Armstead, they still have a above average offensive line. Michael Thomas is back. If he's able to perform half as good as he ever did, like half as good as he did in his best season, it's gonna be all set up perfectly for the Saints. Chris Olave, very promising rookie, and you got Mark Ingram even to back up Alvin Kamara. So yeah, and Adam Troutman hopefully gets little bit of work too at the tight end position. He's my personal favorite. He's tight end out of Dayton, so hits home. Baltimore Ravens at number 11 versus the New York Jets. So that's a win. It just automatically just saying it's a win. Lamar Jackson, prolific runner and passer. His passing abilities are still underrated for some reason. I mean, he's a very good passer. Not maybe not as good as some, but he is pretty good. At least better than most people make it seem. so, so he's back. J.K. Dobbins will be back soon enough. If it's not week 1, then week 2. If not week 2, then week 3. It shouldn't be past week 3 or 4 though. And once he's back, it's full swing, baby, full swing. Even though Hollywood Brown is gone, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, uh, you know, like I don't know, Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards is injured. My bad. Yeah, I guess that's it. Offensive line is okay. I wouldn't say it's the worst. Ronnie Stanley's still there, so an above average. They retain him. And the defense, of course, Marlon Humphrey. You have a bunch of pretty good linebackers. Defensive line is all right. So I see the Ravens making a pretty good comeback here after being plagued by injuries all of last season. Las Vegas Raiders up next. Obviously, Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, period. That's where it is, man. And even maybe Darren Waller. Darren Waller and Devontae Adams, I think, in my opinion, about to go off. Just, they're going to pop off. Derek Carr has always been putting up high yardage numbers. Pretty consistent. He's almost like Kirk Cousins in a way. Josh Jacobs now has only Zamir White and Amir Abdullah as competition. That's just for receiving work, probably though, as Kenyon Drake was traded to the Ravens. Forgot to mention that about the Ravens, by the way. Kenyon Drake and J.K. Dobbins there, running backs. So, but anyway, Hunter Renfro should always be the reliable slot guy he's always been. Now the defense with Chandler Jones, that's very big addition. The biggest addition on the Raiders defense, by the way. So I think they're going to be in the top 10, as you can see. Playing the Chargers in week 1. Number 9, 49ers versus the Chicago Bears. Easy win. I think that's an easy win for sure. I saw some other sites ranking the 49ers at like 2, 3, 4. That's ridiculous. Absolutely, absolutely just ridiculous. I can't believe that they've been ranked at number 4, but I can see top 10 for the 49ers. So since Jimmy Garoppolo was re-signed, we gotta be thinking, what is Trey Lance thinking right now? Like, yes, he is a starter technically, but there has to be a reason they re-signed Jimmy Garoppolo. And Deebo Samuel's still there. Got his contract restructured a little bit. He's back and ready to rumble. Elijah Mitchell is there. Trey Sermon actually got cut, so less competition for Elijah Mitchell. Tight end George Kittle, obviously. O line got arguably the best offensive lineman in the league, or at least one of the best, Trent Williams. And on defense, yeah, Fred Warner. Fred Warner is there. Nick Bosa is there. Uh, that's it, I guess. But I think Kyle Shanahan will be able to lead this team at least to like a 9-8 or 10-7 season, maybe even a playoff berth. Number 8, Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, just a very high-powered, stacked offense. Defense with the addition of Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson and Sebastian Joseph Day even in the in the interior defensive line. Should be awesome. Should be a fun sight. Number 7, Broncos with the addition of Russell Wilson. They even added what's his name? They got rid of Noah Fant, of course, but they still have Albert Okwuegbunam. Albert Okwuegbunam is now the starting not quarterback, tight end. Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams will continue to eat into each other's playtime, obviously, but the duo of them with Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, should be, even though they're not great players like individually on their own, all of them combined should be absolutely destructive to other teams now that they have an actual competent quarterback. And Russell Wilson's revenge game against the Seattle Seahawks. And the Broncos' defense is up there, top 5. Green Bay Packers at number 6, despite obviously losing Devontae Adams. Still, Alan Lazard is all right. Randall Cobb, I think they still have Randall Cobb. Mercedes Lewis, one of the best blocking tight ends, I have to admit it. Robert Tonyan is coming back from injury. And we have Christian Watson, who could contribute. You have, of course, Aaron Rodgers. Nothing needs to be said about Aaron Rodgers. A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. A.J. Dillon most likely on an upward trajectory there. So, and the defense, always good. Just good as it always been. Jair Alexander coming back. You have Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, all the defensive players, even Devontae Wyatt, the rookie. Number 5, Kansas City Chiefs against the Arizona Cardinals in Week 1. Patrick Mahomes with the CEH and perhaps Ronald Jones a little bit. Might see a little bit of Ronald Jones action there. Might see a little bit of Isaiah Pacheco as well, that rookie out of Rutgers. And rookie running back out of Rutgers, that is. Juju Smith-Schuster, worthwhile addition. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, not bad either. Should be a pretty good receiving duo. You still have Mecole Hardman. Of course, Travis Kelce. No, Travis Kelce hasn't gone anywhere at all. So there's no need to worry about tight end anytime soon. Defensively, Tyrann Mathieu. Actually, yes, Tyrann Mathieu went to the Saints. Forgot to mention that earlier. But loss of Tyrann Mathieu hits hard. But I do believe that I really do believe that is made up in several other positions. Patrick Mahomes himself is going to be able to carry the Chiefs, though. Oops, my bad. Number 4 is the Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joey B, Joe Mixon, Jamar, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and now Hayden Hurst too. Hayden Hurst has always been just denied of opportunities. His unfortunate situations that he wasn't able to produce him by himself either. Now, finally, in a great situation in Cincinnati where he should eat. The offensive line completely fixed, in my opinion. Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, Lyle Collins, Jonah Williams, even Cordell Volson starting at left guard should not be too much of a strain. And I think they definitely did learn from what happened in Super Bowl 56 with Aaron Donald. And the defense, with Jesse Bates being franchise tagged, so he's back for good, at least for this year. Chidobe Awuzie is still there. Mike Hilton. DJ Reader, BJ Hill. Got good linebackers, Logan Wilson up and coming there. So it's got a strong case for the Super Bowl once again, believe it or not. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Tom Brady, playing the Dallas Cowboys in Week 3. We can't be doubting him, man. Dude, who cares if he's 46 or 45? Like, it's Tom Brady. It's Thomas Edward Brady. We can't doubt him. Just no matter what rumors come about him, no matter how short of time he retires for, he so-called retires for. Absolutely elite on the field. Even though Gronk retired, the defense just, if anything, it's even better now. And the running back core, loss of Ronald Jones enables Leonard Fournette to get even more snaps. Still got Gio Bernard for receiving snaps. Keyshawn Vaughn, Rashad White, I think they drafted, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is still injured. We'll have to see when he comes back. But for now, Mike Evans should be awesome. Number 2, Los Angeles Rams versus the Buffalo Bills, who you can assume are number 1. But the reigning Super Bowl champions at number 2, I think, is pretty accurate. Matthew Stafford, there's been concerns about Matthew Stafford. I have no idea why. I literally have no idea why. There is no reason to be concerned about Matthew Stafford. They are expected to sign Odell Beckham Jr. once again. And I do expect them to do that too. Cooper Kupp is going to eat, obviously. Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson will make a pretty good running back duo. Tyler Higbee, always underrated, but it's more of a wide receiver based offense. So, yeah. The defense, we saw I don't have to talk about the defense. We just look at Super Bowl 56. You'll know what the defense is like if you don't already know. Finally, number 1 is the Buffalo Bills facing the Rams in week number 1. Main concern, I think, is whether they'll see Tre'Davious White on the field by the beginning of week 1, which definitely not, in my opinion. He's probably going to have to wait till week 4, 5, 6 or so. Kyer Elam, Christian Benford, they're going to have to rely on those types of rookie secondary players instead of Tre'Davious White. We'll hold up Thursday night against the defending champions Los Angeles Rams, led by Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. And that is it, guys. That is the 2022 Week 1 Power Rankings for this NFL season. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will leave recommendations or suggestions in the comments as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.